dollars. And then think about it only costs you $69 a month. You'll be paying for it for 400 years. The idea there's nothing wrong. So the idea was, so some debt, let's be clear now, some debt was unexpected. And some, we went through there, like, Lord Jesus, let this credit report pass. Oh, Jesus, and it passed, and there was nothing. That was not the Holy Spirit, that was our spirit. Flower. So the idea, so here's what happened. That's where we are. So today what we want to do is hopefully throw, and we're going to talk about some things we're going to be doing either on Sundays or Fridays, to throw a lifeline so we can pull us out of this debt. Amen? Anybody ready to overtake debt? Amen. I said, get it out of hand. You ready to overtake now? So here's our focus. How do we then overtake debt? To get to a point where we're talking about, I'm telling you, if you have ever had a significant debt in your life, and that thing gets paid off, they can hear you shouting all the way down to Florida because you just so happen not to be up under that weight as well. So we're going to give us a lifeline today about what we do. So our mindset matters. But here's the point. At some point, our mind has to be set that I'm willing to overtake debt. Y'all, my mind has to be set. I'm willing to overtake debt. See, if my mind's not set, I'm going to keep on going to debt. Amen. If my mind is set, I'm ready to overcome debt. The first thing starts with my mind changing to overcome debt. My wife has been working with several couples and trying to help them with their finances. She's going to bring some of those principles here. She has been doing so well for so many years. And so she asked them to go back in and write down the necessities. Mortgage necessity. Electricity bill necessity. And she goes back down here in real fine little write, so she has him write it down. But down here in little bitty, leaving magnifying glass, nails, her, and all. Now that's not a necessity. Now, praise God for makeup, but that's not a necessity. You got to make up a mind. You got to get in there and file those things down yourself. Grandmama got some, the things y'all used to have, the little compact. Grandmama got some powder in there, or do that and keep on. Now, I would offer on behalf of those who are looking at you, we're appreciative. But I'm just simply saying, it's not always See, go with the natural beauty, the inner glow. So the idea, okay, well, me and I talk about that. And our men's conference talk about that. So anyway, so the point is, there are things. Y'all got to talk to the Lord about what the things are for you. I'm just going to say there are some things that are optional. Now for you and your heart, y'all work it out. I'm just saying some things we're saying are necessities that are not really necessities. They are luxuries, not necessities. Oh, drive down your lane now. So the idea, so that's ordinary, that's overtaking. So the idea we talked about our confession, and so here's the point. There's a spiritual root to all problems, including debt. There's a spiritual root to all problems, including debt. In fact, let's read this from this is our main confession. Let's read this together. I operate in a spirit of acceptance. Let's keep going, let's read together. I commit to partake in learning spiritual precepts and to undertake applying spiritual principles in order to overtake spiritual problems. Every problem, there's a spiritual root to every problem that we have in life. So if there's a spiritual root to it, there's also a spiritual solution. So if we use the same analogy, let's go and read this together. Let's read this together. I commit to join in the process, that's partake, in learning what? How God directs me. Those are precepts. When you talk about precepts, that's how God directs me. Okay, keep going. And to promise, that is in that case, undertake, to continue applying God's truth. God's truth, that's God's precepts. Keep going. In order to seize, take hold of spiritual problems. Now, what are we talking about? So from Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 14. Now, I want to spend some time here before we even look at this verse. And I want to ask this question before we read here. I want to first of all ask you, how do you determine if a verse is under law, the law of Moses, or under love or grace? Listen, this is my question carefully. How do you determine, if you're just reading a verse, how do you determine if it's under the law as opposed to under the love and grace? Because what has happened is that those of us who are now under grace keep trying to live under the law, and that's no longer impactful in our lives. That's the wrong dispensation. That's the wrong agreement that God has with us now. So how do you determine that? Anybody? How do you determine if a verse is under the law or under love? How do you determine it? Behavior, all right. So Old Testament behavior, New Testament belief, all right. But I want to give you two words that will always help you determine if a verse, I don't care where it's located in the Bible, if a verse is under the law or if the verse is under grace. Now, to be clear about this, Old Testament, our behavior determined us being acceptable to God. Amen? If they behaved right, God was pleased. New Testament is about belief. I believe in what Jesus did on the cross. And so in the Old Testament, they tried to be righteous by their behavior, but never were righteous long enough. Now we are righteous because we believe in what Jesus did on the cross. When Jesus died on the cross, we are now righteous. We are now accepted. We are now loved. We are now forgiven. Because now I believe in what Jesus did, I now have what God says I ought to have. So Old Testament, they tried to get righteous by behavior. Right now we are righteous by belief. Old Testament tried to get blessed by behavior. Now we get blessed because of belief. So the difference, if you want to look at the Old Testament behavior, New Testament belief. Now what I'm asking now though, is if you're reading a verse, how do you determine if it's under the law or under grace? Because there are some verses in the New Testament that are still under the law. Just because it's in red. When Jesus was on earth, they were still under the law. When he got resurrected, that's when grace came in. Amen. He said in John 14, I go to prepare a place for you, but it's expedient to you, it's good for you I go. Because when I go, at that point, you can now start living under grace. When I go, I'm going to send the comforter back to you. So even though you may see some words in red, Jesus on earth was still living under the law. The law did not stop until Jesus was resurrected. All right, keep going now. Now, here are your two words right here. This is how you know if it's Old Testament, if it's grace, love and grace, or law. If you. I ain't say F you. I say if you. If you. If you. If you, if you, if you, if you, that if you always determine. If you see if you, that means then it's under the law. What are we saying here? Because if you do, then God will do. That's the law. So in the law, it was what I get from God is based on what I do. With me? If my people who are called by my name will harm themselves, then I'll hear from heaven. If you is always, that verse, if you see something, it says, if you, that's always meaning, and then God, it means I'm now trying to perform. I now have to have behavior. I now have to do something for God to do something. Are you with me on that? What are the two words? If you. You read a verse that says if you, that means I don't care where it's placed in the Bible. And actually, after you get to the book of Acts and the latter part of the Gospels, you don't see if you anymore. So if you always means under the law. Now here's the point. New law, under law and grace. Since God, then you. Since God, then you. You understand the difference? Over here, who was the first one who was acting on this one? Who's the first one? Us. If you, then God. New Testament. Since God, then you. Since God raised Jesus from the dead, then you are righteous. Since God raised him from the dead, then you are accepted. since God raised Jesus from the dead, then you are forgiven. So it's about, so this idea that if you is always based on me first. Under grace, God did it already. I just got to accept what he did. I just got to accept what he did. And let me break this down. Have you ever had somebody who was kind enough to maybe pay for a meal for you and all you had to do was pick it up? That's grace. You didn't have to go find a chicken. You didn't have to go kill a turkey. All you had to do was pick it up. Since then you. All you had to do was get what was already there prepared for you. You didn't have to do anything. They put on their credit card. When we took Kitty out for her 50th birthday, when she found we were going to pay, she said, well, I'm going to take this for home. I'm going to take this for next week. Because at that point, she recognized. So since we, then Kitty. Since we, then Kitty. So the idea was, so Old Testament, if you first, then God. New Testament, since God, then you. The initiator. So now I'm healed. Now I'm forgiven. Now I walk in favor. Now I'm raised. Now I'm delivered. Because since God did this, then I can walk in it. I'm not the originator under grace. God is. And under the law, I'm the originator. So if I did bad, I got it. If I did wrong, got it wrong. Over here, God did good. So then I'm going to get good. He already did it, so I just got to get what he did. It's already deposited to my account. I just got to withdraw it over here. Now, so over here, so if you messed up over here, then you didn't get the good things that God had. Over here, the good things are already there. I just got to believe it's already mine. So let's go and take a look at this. Now let's go. We were looking at Deuteronomy 28 and 1 through 14, and I want to make sure we're clear about this. So what are our two words again? If you. Now, I want you to repeat after me. I'm ready to receive the word. I'm excited about receiving the word. I am prepared to read the word, to receive the word. Let's stand right now and read. We're not going to read all these verses in 14, but listen, if you stand right now, you just look to the screen now, we're going to read a few of these verses together. Now, this is 1 through 2 from Deuteronomy 28. Now, again, it's not highlighted on the Bible. What's italicized and also underlined? If you. All right, so just read together. And if you faithfully obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandments that I command you today, the Lord will set you up high above all the nations of the earth. How do they get set above all the nations of the earth? If they, then it happen. Okay, keep going, verse 2. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you how? If you obey the voice of the Lord. Now we're going to talk about how the blessings come. So there's if you. So if they don't obey the voice of the Lord, what happens to the blessings? They don't overtake them. All right. So then we just skip those. Let's go down now. Let's pick up right here with then there's another one right there in verse 9. All right. Let's read verse 9. Here we go. The Lord will establish you as a people holy to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. Keep on going. Let's read verse 11 now. And the Lord will make you abound in prosperity, in the fruit of your womb, and in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground, within the land that the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hands. Look at the last part of verse 12 now. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. Verse 13. And the Lord shall make you the head and not the tail. You shall only go up and not down. What? If you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, being careful to do them. Amen. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Now it's very interesting if you ever take a real close look at chapter 28. 1 through 14 talks about all the blessings. Verse 15 says, if you don't do it, curses come. So we love talking about, because I listen every morning before I come here to get ready to share Fred Hammond, blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when you go out. I love that song. But verse 15 says, if you don't, curse is coming.